Hello. Okay. Where are we today? All right. We are trading Dogecoin. We're trading cryptocurrency. That's what we're doing today. All right. Dogecoin USD. Um. So I cannot recall what has happened to the last video we did. We are trading cryptocurrency, and the new thing that I have going on today is that I have a new bot open. Everybody is doing pretty good, at least at the moment. Oscillator is swinging back up here, and Hikinashi also is starting to look more bullish. The price action has crossed over Hikinashi, and the red candles are starting to get a little bit thinner here. So at least in terms of the trading view indicator viewpoint on this, Dogecoin is looking bullish, which is great. Oscillator looks beautiful, really kind of beautiful for a correction. And so does Hikinashi. The question now on the daily is this looks like it's breaking above. Is it going to hit resistance here? Because remember, this smooth Hikinashi indicator is kind of a I've tried matching it up with a 10 EMA, but it's not. It's a little bit different, but anyway, when trading with this, you can kind of use this as a 10 EMA line, and so there's a question before of if this was going to find hit resistance at like about this 10 exponential moving average line or not, and it looks to me like it has broken through that resistance at least a little bit today. See? So now whether or not it will continue to move up, we'll have to kind of see from a daily standpoint. Anyway, so this is a real clean looking TA for Doge, assuming that we are still in a bullish mood, and we're assuming the market's going to go up. Bitcoin, same thing. Everything's kind of following with Bitcoin, just like it really sort of always does. We've had a bit of movement to the upside here. Remember, I think that we talked about somebody had said that this might be the bottom for this correction right here. Although, of course, I mean, it's kind of like a bottom here, but at least in terms of this downward movement, correlates pretty well with the 2021 bull market correction at about the same time in the cycle. But also, I mean, from the oscillator standpoint, this looks like a pretty good time to be bullish on Bitcoin. Poking its head up across the 10 EMA smooth Hikinashi indicator thing here, indicator here, and also this is a daily chart, and you can kind of see it's setting higher lows as the days go on. So if we go into this in a smaller time frame, which the reason why there's a trend line there is, of course, because I was looking at this earlier, and doing something more like this, where I was looking at the lower highs. So, and it's kind of setting higher lows as it goes, and so it may be due. It may be due for another correction down towards this trend line, but uh, it does look bullish for Bitcoin, which is great. In my opinion, so it does look bullish for Bitcoin. Although I do think that we're going to correct down. Three, the rest of the day, on the 1 hour, but that's a smaller time frame compared to the daily chart, which is what kind of got up here. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. Everybody's always talking about Bitcoin, including me. Solana continuing to break out to the upside. Which is cool. Looks like we had a bullish movement over the last couple of days, and I think we just started this. I think we just started this daily candle, so we don't really know where this daily candle is going to go. It might be another green, might be a red. Wouldn't surprise me if it's a red. I mean, had two very bullish candles in a row going up to here, so it wouldn't surprise me if if there's a little bit of a stall for a minute while this is going up. It wouldn't concern me very much if it did. Yeah. But what I'm seeing on the hourly, from where I had apparently set up a wedge thing the other day, is that we're seeing okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing is there's a wedge formation happening in the market, and then this is where I had apparently put these markers before, and so it looks like we had a breakout, and then we had a dump back down from the breakout, right? So the wedge formation was broken, and if someone was trading on, say, a lower time frame, you might have gotten excited and go, oh, okay, go long, right here, because it's broken out of the triangle. But then it went down for one more retest and really kind of filled out this wedge pattern actually quite nicely, visually. Before being moved back up. And I don't know if I put it on the Telegram channel or not, but there's some very interesting YouTube videos out there and resources out there that talk about why this sort of stuff happens in the crypto market, where you'll have a breakout from a pattern like this, and instead of just trending straight up, it'll actually swing back the other way and then go up. But I don't want to go into all the details. This is kind of a thing that I talked about before. You'll see a pattern that breaks out of its in this case breaks out of its wedge, and should be a bullish move, but instead swings down one last time and then pumps. It's a liquidity thing, man. This is just kind of how it goes sometimes. So if you were trading on lower time frames with higher leverage, this sort of stuff is your bread and butter. But that's not what I'm doing. It's not what we're trying to do right here. We're trying to make trying to make a return on investment. What we're trying to do, uh, which means for me, at least with Solana, uh, woo, come on now, yeah, uh, my grid bot that is working on Solana in the 1 hour is still not trading. Long explanation to say that. So, yep, on the daily time frame, my Solana bot is not in its grip. But Solana is breaking to the upside, and that's very positive. I'm very glad to see that because I want this guy to get back into its grid so that it'll actually start doing something and not be in risk of liquidation. Oh, goodness. Okay. Dogecoin. Oh, all right. So we kind of already looked at this. I'm not going to really dive a whole lot into Dogecoin. It's doing great. Both a very small, higher leverage bot is trading in its grid, should be doing fine. I haven't checked the numbers on it, but let's see. And then also the lower leverage Dogecoin bot is in its grid and should be trading just fine. Yeah, so that's okay. Sure. How are we doing? Yeah, okay. Here we go. All right, so the Dogecoin, the lower leverage Dogecoin bot is up 30% so far, and the higher leverage Dogecoin bot that has like a smaller amount of money in it is up 110% over these last 10 days. So they're both doing just fine, and this is why I say I have some hope here for these Dogecoin bots because they've got a while to go. Notice I've planned and extended these grids out for a while. We're doing longer term trading here, not necessarily scalping. And this is bot trading, grid bot trading with leverage, derivatives, future contracts. All right, Dogecoin. Yep, Bitcoin. Talked about. We were looking at Solana. We were looking at Solana. That's what it was. What else did we have going? XRP. All right. So we had two XRP bots going, and I was saying, "Whoa, I didn't actually. I haven't looked at this graph ahead of time. Um, all right, we're doing okay with XRP. What? Um, I was kind of thinking this would range for a little while. I was feeling a little. Some of the bears were in particular kind of talking about XRP, and I was wondering if it might kind of hang around uh, in this inactive zone for a little bit. But no, man. XRP is doing okay. So XRP making a nice push upwards. Has not broken out this wedge formation that it seems to be in on the daily chart. But it is nicely up into our grids for our XRP bots. And here, I'll just since we're looking at these, and it's good to celebrate when things are in profit. You know what I mean? Because at least things are kind of looking up. Granted, things are going to swing down. The corrections happen, but Uh, and I had talked about extending the grid on one of the. Whoa. Um, so this one, which would so first, so the more recent XRP bot, and these are both 5 time longs, is 20% in profit. It's interesting. Which a relatively small portion of is because of the grid trading. Mostly, it's because of the positions the bot has are back into profit. Um, but that's okay. And then the older, yeah, the older one, this one that hasn't been in its grid as much, is 4% in profit. So it's kind of started here, whereas this Doge, the second one, I started kind of like right here. So that's more like where its entry point is more from here to here, whereas the original uh, XRP bot, the older one, started here to here. So yeah, so these longs are back in profit, and that's cool. Uh, in fact, actually, why don't we? Um, no. I may since this older XRP bot is now in profit, I may remake it with a new grid, but I'll do an updated video or something, or I'll do that and include it in another video tomorrow if I do that. All right, so good stuff happening there. Doge we talked about, looking good. Some of those. Pepe, I think, is just doing Pepe things, hanging out, being cool. Pepe's doing fine. Uh-huh. Right. And ADA. Oh goodness, it is nice um, to see these in their grid again, because I've been waiting through, and this ADA bot nearly got liquidated back here. So the ADA bot should be back in its grid. I don't know if it's in. No, it's not in profit. It's in loss. It's at 19% loss. So it's still got to catch up. Um, Made a little money from grid trading, but it's been, but not enough to recover its loss from wherever its entry price is. And the entry price for this Cardano bot is going to be probably kind of somewhere in this range right here, because it traded up to this value and then came down, and so uh, it's somewhere in here is going to be its entry. Oh, I wonder if it's got a oh, okay, no, here we go. It's got an entry price. The entry price that it's currently at is 1.0. Seven. Yeah, right there. Is where its actual entry price is, and so that's why it's still at a loss. But it is on its grid, and that is kind of more what I'm interested in, because remember the point of this is that we're engaged in grid trading, trading the volatility, the up and down movements of the market, and generating return on entry that way, in addition to uh, investing in a sort of longer term way in some of these bigger cap coins, is what we're talking about doing here. Okay. So, we talked about Solana. Solana's in loss, but that's okay. Oh, and I think, Yes. No, I think Ape was doing just fine. Or at least the last time I looked at it, it was totally cool. Yep. All right. Ape is doing well. Ape is doing what I want it to do. Is what I'm saying when I'm saying it's totally fine. Ape is not necessarily pumping and performing as well as some of the boomer coins, but that's completely fine with me because remember the idea with this with ApeCoin with this bot is that we want this to hang out in this green zone for as long as possible. And so if this coin doesn't get a whole lot of attention for a while where the other coins are pumping, that's a good thing for us because we are good trading. In this range, and this bot for me is doing well or should do well because it's high leverage, so it's got a lot of capital relative to the money I put into it, and it's been able to run long enough that it's extended its liquidation value pretty far down. Um, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what kind of a return on investment I might actually be able to get out of this. I'm hoping ApeCoin will uh, not make any tremendously big moves. Certainly not to the downside, but also not to the upside either. Because if it hangs out where it is, that's better. Of course, a move to the upside would also be good for me as well. So I wouldn't complain about that either. Um, but this is the kind of situation that you want to get into with grid trading strategies with grid bots. Is something like this where um, if it goes sideways, we'll do just fine. You will get a return on investment. If it goes, if you have bullish movement, then you have good return on investment. If Whereas if ApeCoin underperforms, well, then you might go into loss or something like that. But it probably wouldn't be nearly as much loss if you just had a regular long position on ApeCoin. This is the point. This is the point of grid trading. Is sort of what I'm getting at. Uh, all right, ApeCoin. So that's where we're going with that. Solana, EA, XRP, Doge. Who else? Oh, BNB. Had a BNB bot going, and if I start another high leverage bot, there's a good chance it's going to be on this guy, because BNB has just not been um, as ridiculously up and down as everybody else, and so if it's going to be easier to predict in what range this thing is going to oscillate, then this could be cash cow. I mean, like, we'll have to kind of see how it does. But if this follows the same basic trend as Bitcoin and as the markets, but with predictable volatility, this could be a rather good coin to run grid bots on, the NB, which is interesting. It's not a coin that I've super heard a lot about or know a lot about or have spent much time trading, but that might be its strength from the standpoint of grid trading, in that it doesn't get a whole lot of attention. It's just always there in the background and kind of follows everything else and is very predictable. Um, so we'll kind of see with BNB, but this is doing totally fine, just like everybody else. Oh, okay. Let's call it for this. So let's do the an update video. So this basically we've talked about the existing grid bots that I had going so far. So this is this is TradeGame. I'm Daniel, and thank you for watching and listening. God be with you. Be good to each other, and I'll talk to you later.